Hello everybody, this is Dartt, and today we've got some Magic Duels quests to finish, and it looks like the recurring theme with these is blue, and also there's an element of paying an alternative cost to cast spells. So I do actually have a deck put together that we can use to do this with, and it is a mono blue, kind of full of blue instants and sorceries, lots of Awaken, lots of counters, lots of return to hand, kind of mess with people kind of effects, and it should be a lot of fun to play. Also, we've got Part the Water Veil, which will allow us to take another turn after our turn, so we get 2 turns in a row once during the game if we draw into that. Just lots of flyers, and this should be a lot of fun. So let's dive right in. Ooh, new expansion coming soon. Cool. Let's... Steam screen opens on its own, I guess. Let's jump in and play some Magic. Okay, and we are up against Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force again. He's got the white armor and the trademark kind of reddish head, the goatee, the glowing eyes. Let's hope he doesn't zap us. Alright, let's see what we draw for an opener. One land. Not good. Again, okay. We've got 2 lands. I don't like this. Let's draw down to 6. Okay. Definitely could be better, but I don't want to draw down to 5. We'll go ahead and keep it. Looks like our opponent's also playing blue. Okay, we draw into a Claustrophobia. Basically, it's an enchantment which allows us to tap a target creature and it does not untap, so kind of a lockdown enchantment. We also have Grip of the Royal, a 3-cost instant with the surge cost of 2, and we can tap a target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and we get to draw a card. And Boned Ash, a 4-cost instant which allows us to counter a target creature spell and draw a card. So let's start off by playing an island, and that will be our turn. Okay, white and blue our opponent has. And we draw into a Skyline Cascade. It's a land. It enters play tapped. When it does enter the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Beyond that, it's kind of like an island. And our opponent is playing Wastes. So I guess we can expect some Eldrazi or Eldrazi-like things in its deck. And our opponent plays Bottle Gnomes, a 3-cost artifact creature. You can sacrifice it and gain 3 life. It is a 1/3. We draw into a Cyclone Sire, a 5-cost 3/4 flyer. When it dies, we can put 3 1/1 counters on a target land we control, and it becomes a creature. see. A 1-3 by itself definitely isn't very imposing. So let's go ahead and hold off on playing the Claustrophobia for right now. Yeah. We'll go ahead and wait. We could also play the Grip of the Royal, but I'd rather pay it with the surge cost. That way we make some progress on our daily quests. Okay, our opponent plays a Gravity Negator, a 4-cost 2/3. It has no color. It's flying. Whenever it attacks, you may pay colorless. If you do, another target creature gains flying until end of turn. And he swings with the gnomes. We'll just go ahead and take it. We draw into a Jwar Isle Avenger, a 5-cost 3/3 with a surge cost of 3, and it is a flyer. Let's play the Skyline Cascade. Well, we can do that or play the island and set ourselves up for the Bone to Ash. How do we want to play this? Let's go ahead and play the Skyline Cascade. That'll set us up to potentially play the Avenger next turn if we need to. What do we want to tap? Let's tap the Negator. And we will call ourselves done, I think. There's another Bottle Gnomes from our opponent. And another Wastes. Yeah, it looks like we're taking 3 damage. Let's go ahead and play the Cyclone Sire. Give us an answer to his attackers here. And he plays a Dehydration. Okay. Luckily, we don't need to attack right now. We just have to keep it in play. We draw into a Scatter to the Winds, a 3-cost instant, which counters target spell, and if we cast it for 6, we get Awaken 3. Let's go and play an island. See, right now we can go ahead and do 2 things. It's Claustrophobia. This. And Let's go ahead and Surge cast Grip of the Royal. One of his gnomes. Which gives us another Claustrophobia. Very nice. And since this has the dehydration, we're just going to keep it for a blocker, skip attack. Our opponent plays a Walker of the Wastes, a 5 cost 4/4 with trample, and it gets +1/+1 for each waste land he controls, and I believe he's got 3 of these. Yeah, that's going to be a nuisance. Okay. Fun thing we can do. Let's go ahead. Cast Disperse on this. And we can now Surge cast the Avenger. And he casts it one more time. And we pick up Grip of the Royal, a 3 cost instant. He can Surge cast for 2. Tap target creature, it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and draw a card. I like that. But, for right now, let's go ahead and Claustrophobia that big nasty 6/6. And we will attack with the Avenger. And he plays a Slip Through Space, a 1 cost sorcery. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, and he gets to draw a card. He also plays a Step Glider, a 5 cost 2/4 with flying and vigilance. He can pay 2. Target creature with a 1/1 counter on it gains flying and vigilance until end of turn. Anything we can do about that? Looks like we can do some tapping or counter it, but we don't get the Awaken effect, so we'll go ahead and hold our peace. He attacks with the 1/3. And we couldn't block it. I hate when that happens. We draw another Skyline Cascade, which we will go ahead and play. And let's tap this, or use the effect on that, rather. Okay, we've got 1 Surge, and looks like a couple of counters. Let's go ahead and save our mana to counter. Yeah. Okay. Let's attack with the Avenger. Or do we want to bother? Nah, he can block with his glider and it'll still live through it, so there's no point. Go ahead and skip attack. And that's it. He plays another Wastes. And not much else. It looks like we're in a Mexican standoff here. Okay. Still nothing from our opponent. And that'll do it for us too. Our opponent attempts to play a Blinding Drone, a 2-cost 1/3. It's colorless, an Eldrazi drone. You can pay 1 colorless, tap it, to tap a target creature. Yeah, I think we're going to counter that. And we will pay the Awaken cost. And awaken one of our lands. Giving us a 3/3 island creature. Okay. We draw into a Coastal Discovery, a 4-cost sorcery. Allows us to draw 2 cards. And it's Awaken 4. We can pay 6 to trigger the Awaken effect. If we do, we get to put 4 1/1 counters on a target land, which could be huge for us. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that on the 3/3 island we already have. Okay, we draw into a Wavewing Elemental and a Clutch of Currents, which is going to be very handy coming up. And we'll go ahead and swing for a good little bit here, I think. Our opponent blocks, loses one of his creatures, and goes back up to 20, sacking the gnome. Alright. Opponent plays another island. And that's it. We'll play an island too. Let's do something fun. Let's pay the Awaken cost on this. Dump some more counters on this. Wait, let's cancel that because I don't think I did it right. Awaken, yeah, choose a creature to return to its owner's hand. This. 3 counters on this. And he cast Counterspell, and it would not let us do anything. Oh, that's horrible. That's fine. We will still Surge cast this to tap his glider. We draw into a Skyline Cascade, and we will attack again. I'm not pleased with that stop timer going as fast as it does. It really kind of screwed us over. He attempts to play another blinding drone. Even though we have counters in hand, we don't have the mana to use them, so unfortunately, that one will get through. We draw into another Avenger. Let's start off by playing the Wavewing Elemental. Really? How many countermans do you have, dude? And we'll go ahead and play another Skyline Cascade, which we will use to tap his Blinding Drone, making it useless as a blocker. Well, if he taps it, he won't be untapping it. And we can Surge Cast this Avenger. We're going we can either do that now or post-combat. We'll wait on that. Let's go ahead and attack. Yeah, we have the mana to go ahead and Surge Cast the Avenger or attack with these two. I'd rather attack with these two. That gets rid of this, which is potentially more annoying. And here's another Gravity Negator. Play another island. And let's go ahead and attack. And he elects to double block and get rid of our Avenger, losing one of his blockers in the process. We could recast this one, but let's go ahead and wait. He plays an Avenger of his own, to which we are going to Bone to Ash that. And he decides to cast Abstruse Interference, a 3-cost instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. You put a 1/1 colorless blah 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 blah. It has sacrifice, add 1 mana. Okay. Yeah, we'll pay 1. So that was kind of useless. Then we draw into another Wavewing Elemental. Oh, this is too good. What's the biggest thing out there? That would get rid of that. It's 5. 5. And then 4. Okay, and this is 5, right. Let's go ahead and 5. Boom. Everything returns to everybody's hands except for the 7/7. Gotta hate that. And we will Surge Cast the Avenger for 3 after combat. And here's the dehydration on that. And he plays a Step Glider. Okay. Unfortunately for our opponent, that's pretty much game. Let's tap this with Claustrophobia. We'll attack for 3. He only has 3. So I have a feeling that's the game. Yep. Alright. That's a win. Alright, and I don't think I've seen this guy before. It is Peacock Guy. Because he's kind of like got a peacock sitting on his shoulder. Some kind of big blue bird. Alright. Let's see what kind of a hand we get. Okay, we get a couple of lands, an Avenger, Bone Dash, Anchor to the Ether, a couple of them, and Part the Water Veil. I'd almost rather have the lands, but we could very well draw into them. We're going to keep the hand. That's not a good sign for our opponent. Anytime the AI leads with a waste, that generally means he's mana screwed. So, hopefully we're in a slightly better spot than he is. And there's a forest, so not too mana screwed. And there's a stalking drone. 2 cost 2/2. You can pay 1 colorless and give it +1/+2 until end of turn. We are hoping for a land, and that's not a land. Okay. And our opponent plays Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. It's a 3-cost Planeswalker. And her abilities are +1 loyalty, put a 0/1 green plant creature token onto the battlefield, -2, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and -7. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of cards or number of lands you control. And she starts off with 3 loyalty counters. That's not something I want to see just yet. And our opponent swings for 2, taking us down to 18. And pluses Nissa. And we are mana screwed. Nothing doing, really. This will have to discard and Anchor to the Ether. We take another 2. And here comes the Thought-Knot Seer from our opponent, a 4-cost 4/4. Thought-Knot Seer enters the battlefield. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card and exile it. When it leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. And of course, he picks the Displacement Wave. No? He does? I would have figured he'd pick this, but it's the AI, so whatever. And finally, we get an island. What do we want to anchor to the ether? Definitely not that seer. Because we don't quite have the mana to bone to ash it just yet. Let's put this back on top of his library. Yeah, we want that on top because we need the land. And he swings for 4, which we'll unfortunately just have to take. And here comes a Tajiru Path Warden. 5 cost, 5/4 with Vigilance and Trample. And yeah, we're kind of dead here. Oh well, not much we could really do. We got off to a late start and got mana screwed, and definitely did not hit our ramp up in time to prevent that, so no problem. Okay, and we are up against Cat Guy. Cat person. Some kind of a cat dude. Yeah, well, let's see what we get for an opening hand. 3 lands, a Claustrophobia, Grip of the Royal, Clutch of Currents, and a Displacement Wave. Let's keep it. Looks like our opponent's running a black deck. He plays a Swamp. Black and red looks to be a thing. There's a Corpse Hauler, 2 cost 2/1. Our opponent can pay 3, sacrifice it, and return another creature from his graveyard to his hand. We draw into another Clutch of Currents. Not too horribly concerned about that right now, so we will bide our time, I think. And another Corpse Hauler. Swings at us for 2. We draw into a Disperse. Let's see how best to use this. Let's do this. Let's disperse this. Surge cast Grip of the Royal on this. We draw into another land and set our opponent back a little bit. And our opponent plays a Kindly Stranger. 2 cost, 2/3 with a Delirium effect. 3 mana, transform this into Demon Possessed Witch. You can only activate this if you have 4 more card types in your graveyard, of which right now he has 0. Very nasty card if you combine it with Bounce and Graveyard Fetch and all the rest. I'm thinking Claustrophobia would be a very good thing to do to his Witch, Stranger, or whatever. Okay, and we will call ourselves done. Swings for 2 again, putting us at 16. And here comes an Accursed Spirit. 4 cost, 3/2 with Intimidate, meaning we can't block it except with artifact or black creatures. Let's go ahead and play a Cyclone Sire. Playing black and red, you know he's got some form of burn and hard removal. I just as soon force him to use it. There's a second Kindly Stranger. Let's see what he's got. Can we displace for 4? We can. Sends all of his stuff back to his hand and gives us the Claustrophobia back. And we will go ahead and attack for 3. Now he's forced to try and replay all this. And he discards some stuff. That's fine with me. It's absolutely fine. He's trying to get card types into his graveyard so he can make use of his Demon Possessed Witch, the hard removal from flipping it. Let's see, we don't have any counters, unfortunately. Let's lock this down with claustrophobia. And then we'll go ahead and swing again. He tries to play the Corpse Hauler. We'll let it resolve. And the Kindly Stranger again. And before the end of his turn, let's bounce that back to his hand. Just so he doesn't have a blocker, let's Clutch of Currents, paying the Awaken cost. Send his Corpse Hauler back to his hand, and awakening one of our islands. And we will swing for 6. One thing about blue, delay is definitely a powerful tactic if you can pull it off. There's the Corpse Hauler again. Basically, you're costing your opponent turns, which definitely can be lethal. Let's do this. Play some more delay and an Awaken effect at the same time. I'm all about it. Let's add some more counters to this island. Wait, we messed that up. Awaken 3. That goes back to his hand. This gets 3 more counters. And we will swing for 9. He blocks with the Hauler, loses it, and takes some more damage. He's stuck recasting the Corpse Hauler. So, prior to combat, let's go ahead and cast Coastal Discovery. We'll pay the Awaken cost. Put 4 more counters on this island, bring it up to a 10-10, and draw 2 cards. We'll play an island. We drew into another Clutch of Currents. This is almost comical. And we will attack again. This time for 13. So he blocks and loses his thing, and this time he plays Flesh to Dust on our island, killing it. Oh, that's too bad. Still takes 3 damage from our Cyclone Sire. And that will be our turn. We're at 13, he's at 2. I don't know how much longer he's going to be in this game. Probably not very long. He swings for 2, which we will take. He sacrifices it. And I did not even get to see what that was. I'm assuming it's nothing good. Nothing I really want to do here. There's not much that we can do that helps us that doesn't also help him. So we could go ahead and hard cast the Avenger. You know what? We're going to win anyway right here. Let's just go ahead and win the game. We hope we win the game. You know what? If he does anything, he doesn't, so we win. Alright. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out and playing some Magic the Gathering with me today. As always, this is Dartt, and if you like this, thumbs up, leave me comments below, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and good luck, and have fun in all your games.